Thank you. And there's some breaking news coming out of California. Actually, D.C. President Trump speaking at the White House. He's meeting with officials from California about the state's so-called sanctuary laws. Supporters say they improve public safety by encouraging undocumented immigrants to cooperate with police. The Trump administration claims the laws are unconstitutional, and it sued California a couple months ago. Let's listen.
Secretary, thank you very much. I know you folks are keeping busy, right? Keeping busy at those borders. And Deputy ICE Director Tom Homan, who's going to be leaving us soon for a life of retirement, but there's no such thing as retirement for Tom. We appreciate it very much, Tom. You're incredible. I know that. Oh, you'll never leave the fight. No, you'll always be in. Also with us is House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who has been a special friend of mine. He represents California's 23rd Congressional District, and he is very, very popular. And I just recently saw a poll of Kevin. I think the opposition might as well just go home, because Kevin, they love him out there, and he's done an incredible job. He's brought it home, and we appreciate it, Kevin, the great job you've done for the country. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, Congress, and I have to say congressional Democrats, you take a look at what has been going on and what's going on with the laws, whether it's catch and release, whether it's any of the things that we're fighting for and so hard. Now, we have started the wall. We're spending $1.6 billion between fixing and starting. You know, Melissa, what's been going on. We're getting it up. We have a lot of folks in California, they don't talk about it, but they want the wall up, and they're very happy. That's one of the reasons we started in California, but we've made a lot of progress on it. And now we're going for the full funding for the wall, and we're going to try and get that as soon as possible. But it's become a very popular issue. In January, the Los Angeles Police Department arrested an illegal immigrant from Mexico for drug possession. Instead of honoring the ICE detainer, they set him free. Just a few weeks later, he was arrested again, this time for murder. So they arrested him, they had him, they let him go. Tom, you've seen this. They let him go, and he killed somebody. And it's happening more and more. And we get him out as fast as we can. We have the worst laws anywhere in the world for illegal immigration. There's no place in the world that has laws like we do. Catch and release. Think of it. We catch somebody. We find out they're criminals. We end up having to release them, and they go into our society. Now, we do the best we can, I'll tell you. We do better than anybody. And our numbers are much better than in the past, but they're not nearly acceptable and not nearly as good as what we could have. We're down 40% from those other standards. So that's really good, meaning 40% crossings. So that's good, but we can do much better. Part of the problem that we have is our economy is so strong that people are pouring up to get into our economy. They want a piece of our economy, and that makes the job even tougher. But we want people based on merit. We want people to come into our country based on merit. We're not looking to keep them out. We're looking to bring them in. We need them. We have companies moving back into the United States like never before. Chrysler's opening up now in Michigan. We have so many companies actually coming from Mexico even and coming back in. So we want people coming in based on merit. We all remember the tragic case of Marilyn Farris in California, who was murdered by an illegal immigrant who had been arrested 6 times prior to breaking into Marilyn's home, raping her and savagely beating her to death with a hammer. And this is one example, but there are many examples. I've been saying it for a long time. We cannot let this butchery happen in America. The state of California's attempts to nullify federal law have sparked a rebellion by patriotic citizens who want their families protected and their borders secured. They want border security. They want protection. That's what we're all about. We're about protection, both from international and from, frankly, people crossing a border illegally. I will now go around the room and ask these incredible mayors and officials to discuss their brave stand on behalf of their constituents. They are very popular. They are very well respected. These are the top people. And they are people that other people listen to. And they listen to them from around the country. So I'll begin by asking California Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, and you have been an inspiration to a lot of people, Melissa. So maybe you could say a few words and we'll go right around the room, okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I just want to start off by saying, on behalf of everyone here, thank you for inviting us. There are more people in California, I think, than you know, who support what you're doing, who believe in your agenda in securing our borders. Everywhere in between, from San Francisco to Los Angeles, you have millions of people who want to see that our borders are secure and that our neighborhoods are safe. So we want to thank you for what you're doing. I have been in office in California for 5 years now, and it's interesting to me that you've been in office for a year almost?
17, 17 months.
So
17 years would be nice.
But you have invited us here to talk about this issue. I've been in office in California for 5 years. Not once has Governor Brown invited any Republican to discuss this issue in California, and it is a crisis. That's the point we're at in California. It's a crisis. So for me and my constituents, and those are Democrats and Republicans and independents alike, because I get emails from all of them, they don't want to see another Kate Steinle. That's what I hear every single week. They don't want to see another Kate Steinle. So when my husband and I talk about this issue, we have 37 years of service between the two of us. We both served in the Navy. That's where we met. We know a lot about what it takes to protect our way of life, what it means to protect other people, but we want to make sure that our citizens are protected. And I think the resistance that started in the Democrat Party, this is your Republican resistance right here against what they're doing in California.
And beyond Republican. I mean, this has really become a Democrat issue, a Republican issue. I think a lot of the Democrat politicians don't understand what's going on because it's actually good politically. People want safety. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sam, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am a proud immigrant here from Lebanon. 30 years ago, I came here to live the American dream, and we did well. Jerry Brown wants to take this American dream from us. I see myself.
He'll be retired pretty soon.
I hope so.
End of the year.
Somebody said he's going to run for president. I said, please run. But no, I think he's going to be retired from what I understand pretty soon.
I see myself fighting for these values that made our country great, Mr. President. We are aligned with your goals. Here's the success story of Escondido. When I was elected mayor in 2010, I made the agreement with ICE. We brought 8 ICE agents to Escondido, to our police station. Since then, we deported over 2,700 illegal criminals from our city and made Escondido as safe as it was in 1980. This is a great success story, and our cooperation with ICE and the San Diego ICE is a very compelling model for the nation to follow. In our city, more immigrant people report crime, and this narrative that sanctuary city will allow more immigrants to report crime is fake news, Mr. President.
Fake news. Fake news.
We are going. California is going down the drain. It's going to be sorry, Congressman McCarthy, but California is the least business friendly, is the poorest city in the nation, the highest poverty rate, the highest taxes, you name it. Instead of fixing the Golden State and making it the American dream for everyone, they are dealing with illegal criminals. When Jerry Brown cares more about illegal criminals than he cares about the Hispanic community and the American citizens, this is insanity, and this is unconstitutional. When I sworn to be a citizen, and again as mayor, I sworn to defend the Constitution and to keep my community safe. This is personal to me. I'm going to work hard to make sure our community is safe. Escondido is a great example of our success. As a result of making Escondido safe, we brought $2 billion in investment to our city, and we outperformed San Diego County in economic growth. I am passionate about it. When I go back to California, I'm going to start a PAC. And we're going to fight the fight. We want to make sure if the Supreme Court does not repeal the sanctuary state, we're going to make sure the grassroots team like you see today, we will repeal that. We are with you. We need to build that wall. We need to end the sanctuary state. We had 11 sanctuary cities not too long ago. Now we have 560. 10,000 illegal criminals have been released under the sanctuary
But now
state.
it's reversing, Sam, and it really got bad, and now it's reversing. It's a big change of heart, of mind. People don't want sanctuary cities. They're dangerous. They don't want them anymore. So, thank you, Sam.
Most of the people support us, Mr. President. 65% of the Hispanics support us. The liberal, the Democrat, everybody is supporting our. In my city, 90% are with us. Thank you.
And I'll tell you what, I had a lot more support in the state of California than people understand, too. Check the voting records, folks.
I'm Crystal from the city of San Jacinto, and can I speak frankly?
Yes.
I'm sitting here in this room in awe of God's power, how he can take someone who was homeless in a tent, make them the mayor of the city, and bring them before the President of the United States of America, who wants to hear the cry of our people, and that's what's going on. Our people are the ones hurting. Sacramento is angry because they lost an election. For God's sakes, get over it. They're angry, and you know what? Now we're more angry. They're releasing these criminals not by their houses. They're not releasing them by their houses. They're releasing them by our houses. Our children are at risk. My community is my family. You're putting my family at risk. Every day we're getting more and more reports from the police department about how they can't arrest these people. They arrest them, everything's a misdemeanor because it's not near Jerry Brown's house. It's not near the elected official's house. It's in our communities, and we're tired of it. We need help, Mr. President. We need help protecting the city of San Jacinto, Escondido, the state of California. All of us need help getting this solved. I was just at a church the other day. I was at my church, and I went over to another one, a Hispanic church. And all the people from the Hispanic church were out there. And they all came up to me, and you tell Mr. Trump that we have a message for him. We want help. You see, every one of us came from somewhere else. We all came from different countries. My husband is from Mexico.
You kind of hear from the president there, some of the mayors in California. That's the mayor of San Jacinto, which is out in Riverside County, saying, look, here's the deal. We've got these illegal immigrants who are being released because the state of California is protecting them. The president says, well, the tide is turning, and to a certain extent it is. I mean, you've got 22 cities in California who have now opted out of California's sanctuary city policy, and you've got 3 major counties, Orange County, Tuolumne County, and San Diego County, but you have to keep in mind there are 58 counties